company's advertising our ranches for sale. I can't believe it.
Well, it's true, all right. Read the notice on the poster.
Well, how can they do this to us? We're still fighting our case in court.
Luther Sharp must be mighty sure he's going to win that case. I think we should have waited for the court's decision.
Why wait? We know what it's going to be. That clause you inserted in the contract will hold good in any court. That's a joker that nobody will be able to trump.
We'll win by law, all right. Those settlers aren't going to give up without a struggle.
I'm prepared for anything.
Take a look.
I've got armed men spotted all over town.
I wasn't figuring on bloodshed.
It's too late to pull out now.
No, that's not that. What if the railroad company finds out that we've been feathering our own nests on this land deal?
Any reports they get come through me. And as chief of the railroad detectives, I've got full authority to act. So we're sitting pretty.
I ain't so sure about that.
Now, wait a minute, man. Let's not be too hasty about taking action. Clem Barstow will be back from the county seat pretty soon. He's our lawyer, and he'll tell us what to do.
Trouble, Helen. You'd better wait here for me.
Do be careful, Dad.
Don't worry, dear. I'll be all right.
What happened at the Capitol, Barstow?
Well, I'm sorry to report, man. The judge upheld the contracts in favor of the land company.
That judge is probably in on the swindle. The whole thing's a fraud.
He couldn't decide any other way, Newton. The clause that Luther Sharp inserted in that contract is airtight. It gives him the right to get any price he wants to for that land, and you've got to pay it in order to get legal claim.
Well, we bought that land in good faith when the railroad company opened it for settlement. Well, we spent all our money building homes and improving the land.
Sharp was to sell us that land for $5 an acre, as soon as the railroad company secured its patents from the government.
Well, our only chance is to file an appeal with the Supreme Court.
Fighting by law ain't going to get us nowhere. It's time we took the matter in our own hands.
Wait a minute, man. Violence will get you no place. Our only chance is to fight this thing legally.
Now, we're not going to sit by and let the railroad company drive us from our homes. Are you with me, men?
I can't countenance any such action on your part, but I will continue your fight in court.
Fighting this thing with words should stop. We should get some action.
I've got to get you home right away, Helen.
What's the matter?
I haven't time to explain right now, but I'm afraid there's going to be trouble. That mob's getting out of hand. Oh, quit worrying. When I fire a shot, that'll be the signal for the boys to cut loose.
I'm going to tell you what we do, fellas. Let's try and feather this lad.
That's the last we'll see of those settlers. I'll round up the boys and have them run the rest of them out of their homes. Then you and I can start that real estate boom in Red Rock without any further trouble.
Well, what did you find out?
It looks pretty bad. Luther Sharp swore out warrants for your arrest. We only defend in our own right. I know, but you played right into their hands by attempting to attack the land office. He didn't. It'll go against you when your case comes up in court.
Well, what do you advise us to do, Barstow?
Well, hide out until I get sufficient evidence against Tragg and Sharp to block their game.
How are you going to do that?
I think I know a man who can get that evidence for me.
Who's he from?
Clem Barstow. He's that lawyer got us out of that jam over in Nevada, remember? Yeah. What did he say? He's in trouble, Fuzz. Seems there's a feud going on between the settlers and the railroad over in Red Rock.
No, we don't want to go messing around anybody's private war.
We aren't. I'm going to play this as a lone hand until I find out what the situation is.
You ain't riding off and leaving me behind.
Why, Billy, we've been pals a long time. I'll send for you, Fuzz, as soon as I find out what the setup is. So long, Fuzzy.
It's up to you.
I bet 50.
I'll see you. What do you got? 3 queens. That's good. Your deals. I'll shot one. Hello, Rosie. All right, Andy, up for it. I'm in.
Nothing seems to stick to my fingers today, including the tips.
You're the only one that seems to be having any luck, stranger.
Maybe it's because I'm unlucky in love.
You might be able to change your luck.
I'll remember that, Rosie. I'll open. I'm out. I'll stay. I'll stay. It cost you 10 more to see me. Well, I'm out. That's where I get off. I'll call that 10 and double it. There's yours. I'll raise you 50. Let's make it interesting. $250. One. What do you do? I'm all in. What have you got? A straight flush up to the king, if you had the king. If I'd have drawn 1 card instead of 2, you would have made it. The king was the second card I drew.
Are you suggesting that I cold-decked you?
I'm not suggesting, I'm telling you, Tin Horn.
Wait a minute. It's not healthy to make accusations like that, stranger, unless you can...
If I'd have drawn 1 card, you would have drawn 1. I would 8 of clubs and you the king. If I'd have stood pat, you would have drawn 2 cards, both the 8 and the king. Either way, you would have made your straight flush. I still say you and the Tin Horn frame me.
Why, you...
Pull up your wolf, mister.
Put up your guns, man.
I wouldn't advise anybody making a move. I'm not particular who I plant in Boot Hill.
Slade, why didn't you stop that stranger?
Not me, Tragg. That hombre ain't no stranger to me. Why, that's Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid?
Hey, Billy! Wait a minute.
I want to talk to you.
Only one thing talks as far as I'm concerned. Money.
Wait a minute. I can promise you a lot of conversation, Mr. Bonnie. We better go over in the office and talk. It's more private.
That suits me. All right, Tragg. What's the play?
I can use another deputy that's as fast on the trigger as you are.
Things seem to be quiet enough around here. How come the railroad needs new detectives?
Well, there's plenty of trouble going on underneath the surface. Don't tell them on the little blow-off.
What kind of trouble?
Well, when the settlers defaulted from their contracts with the railroad company, it was my job to run them off their property. They resisted, and several of my men got killed. Warrants were issued for their arrest, but the men took to the hills, and that's where they're hiding out.
Where do I come in?
I'm going to see every one of those settlers either dead or behind bars. But it's going to take some good men to do it.
What about the money?
There'll be plenty in it when we find the settlers' hideout.
How are you going to do that?
Well, as chief of the railroad detectives, I've offered large rewards for the capture of the settlers. You collect the rewards, and we split.
It's a pretty tough job for one man.
Oh, my men will help you.
After what happened at the saloon? I'd be afraid to turn my back on you. Wait a minute. I've got an idea. A friend of mine just got out of prison a few weeks ago. He's one of the toughest men in the country.
What is he in for?
Highway robbery. I told him to stick to safe blowing. That's his specialty. He's one of the best powder men in the West.
Say, I can use a man like him. What's his name?
What'd you say?
What's his name?
Fuzzy Q. Jones.
Fuzzy Q. Jones.
I'll send for him.
Never heard of him.
Billy, you old horn-toad. I thought you'd never send for me.
Save it, Fuzz. We've got to get out of here before anybody sees us together.
Hey, what in tarnation is all the mystery?
I haven't got time to explain everything right now. Mr. Barstow, this is Fuzzy Jones.
Glad to know you, Mr. Jones. Billy's told me a lot about you.
You boys can get acquainted later. Right now, I got a big job for you, Fuzz. I made a deal for you to tie up with a railroad detective.
Detective? You mean I can wear a star?
That's right. And I gave you a big build-up. Tragg, the boss of the outfit, thinks you're plenty tough, so you have quite a reputation to live up to.
Tough? Why, I'm so tough that the last rattlesnake, I bet he just crawled away and died.
You're going to need a lot more than that. You're going to need some advanced publicity to convince this Tragg that you're as tough as I said you were.
All he has to do is just take one look at me.
That's what I'm afraid of. Now, the stage from Red Rock comes along here any minute now. You're going to hold it up. Single-handed.
Yeah, well, that ought to be easy. Hey, me hold up a stagecoach single-handed?
I'll be there to back you up.
How far back?
Right back.
Well, back or front, I ain't gonna be there.
Fuzzy's right, Billy. He can't hold up that stage. It's breaking the law.
Yeah, ain't legal for me to do a thing like that.
The gents we're up against aren't so particular about the letter of the law, Mr. Barstow.
Two wrongs don't make a right, Billy.
This time it might prove an exception of the rule. Now, the money on that stage belongs to Sharp and Tragg. It was stolen from the ranchers after they were evicted.
I'm afraid we can't get back what is rightfully ours by using those methods, Billy.
It's only the beginning. We're going to get everything back. With interest. You stay here, Mr. Barstow. Come on, Fuzzy. There it is, Fuzz. You're on your own.
Oh, now listen, isn't there some other way I can get a reputation without holding up a stagecoach? first thing you know, this thing's going to wind up with my obituary.
The word's obituary. I'll write it for you unless you get down there and do what I tell you to do.
Well, how about a mask?
One you got on's all right.
Hey, this is my face.
Oh, I thought it was a mask. Anyway, I want them to see that homely mug of yours. It's part of our scheme.
All right. I'll go. But if anything happens to me, you'll be sorry.
Go down your gun. Now climb up there with your hands in the air. What's going on here? None of your business. Now give me that money in the express box. You heard what I said. Give me that money. I'm a tough hombre, I am. I don't want no fooling about it. If anything should happen, why, you're only committing suicide. Get it! Now get back in that coach. On! You get up on your box there, you monkey. Pull out of here, pronto. Now get going. Yeah!
Oh.
I showed him, didn't I?
You
The law in our own hands like this.
I haven't got time to argue now with you, sir. I've got to get Fuzzy into town. So long. Come on, Fuzz. You know what to do, Fuzz. I'll meet you at the saloon later.
Yeah, but supposing somebody recognizes me as the bandit what held up the stagecoach.
That's just the idea. If they don't, our whole scheme will fall through. I'll be seeing you, Fuzz. I hope.
You hope. I hope. Oh, woe is me. I think we's in trouble. What in tarnation is all your rush? Oh. All right, I'll go in. But you always remember, if anything happens to me, you're going to be responsible. Stand back, gents. Give me room before I make killing wood out of this saloon. I'm Barbecue Jones!
Way off the gun, Pete. That's the fellow Tragg was expecting.
I'm a tough hombre. Now stand back, gents, and give me room before I make killing wood out of this here saloon. Give me a drink. Hey, where you got?
my boyfriend. He's got lots of money.
Money? Well, I got lots of money, too.
You have lots of money,
Why,
too?
sure.
Then you are what they call mucho caballero grande, no?
No.
Oh, Fuzzy.
Yes. 2 yeses.
You are such a...
Hey, never mind that Spanish business, baby. You're just plain Rosie O'Grady to me.
Flanagan to you.
Flanagan to me? Well, now that we understand each other, sit down. Let's have a drink. Come on, bartender, bring her up here. Give me all that panther.
What happened? Why isn't this stagecoach on its way?
We were held up. We lost the money we were going to ship.
Well, what was you doing? Picking daisies?
Well, I couldn't do anything. The bandit was the toughest two-gun killer I'd ever met up with.
What?
Wherever it goes, it always leaves the calling card. FQJ stands for TNT. Dynamite Jones, that's what they called me. How am I doing, baby?
All right, Fuzzy.
Say, that's the bandit that held up the stagecoach.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Didn't he say his name was Jones?
Yeah. And there's no Jones living can stick me up and get away with it.
Well, let me handle this. I'll get the money back. You know, I sent for him.
You what?
Yes, he's going to be one of my new deputies. Hey, Jones! Come here.
Yes, sir.
Fuzzy, you're not going to leave your baby now, are you?
Say not. Anybody wants to talk to me can come over here. I'm busy.
That's telling them, Fuzzy.
I feel it, Rosie. You can't talk.
You heard me.
I said that you...
I'm Ward Tragg. And this is Luther Sharp. I think you and him met down the road a way.
Well, what about it?
You can't get away with that money you stole from me.
I got it, haven't I? It's on your mind.
Listen, anybody working for me does nothing on their own hook.
Who said I was working for you?
Now, this is going far enough. I'm going to get that money back if I have to choke it out of you with my bare hands.
Stop! Hey! You try that, and I'll tear your ears off and throw them right back in your face again.
What's the matter, killer? You mad?
Oh, hello, Billy.
What seems to be... I don't know what I'm going to do with you. How many times have I told you to stick in your own...
I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, let's go over to Sharp's office and settle this.
Oh, there ain't nothing to settle. Hey, you know, the pickings are pretty good around here. Why don't you and me play a lone hand?
Well, it won't do any harm to listen to what the gents have to say.
No, but you gotta talk fast. Because my time's gonna be occupied around here for the next few days.
I'll see that it is.
Now listen, Jones. If you'll do as I say and return the money, you won't lose a thing.
The whole proposition don't make sense to me.
Can't you get us through that thick skull of yours? The money you stole belongs to me?
You mean it did belong to you? Belongs to me now. And your money to me is just as good as any other fellow.
You were sent for because Billy said you could do certain things and do them right.
Sure, I got a reputation. When I blows up things, they stay blowed. Monkey Jones, that's what they call me.
We know all that, but...
Hey, I gotta be paid if I'm gonna act like a railroad detective. I've got my future to think of.
Afraid you might be humiliated?
Humiliated? No, embarrassed.
Oh, we're settling this thing once and for all. Are you working for me or aren't you?
I am.
Now you're being sensible.
But I'm keeping the money I got.
Give me that. Let's see what I can do with it. Hey, killer. Wait a minute. Wearing one of these things will keep you perfectly safe. Don't you understand? You'll be the law.
You ain't fooling me, are you?
No. Huh? Now, how about a compromise on that money deal?
Well, you know, Billy, I'm a fair man. Tell you what I'll do. I'll leave it up to you.
Have him turn in that money.
I can't do it.
You can't.
Now, take it easy, Tragg. When he's like this, he's dangerous. And he's trying to force it.
Well, he can't get away with this.
Listen, we can't get... I've got an idea. Why don't you let him keep Sharp's money as an advance, turning into settlers?
Kid, you're a wizard. I was just going to suggest that.
I read your mind. What do you say?
Well, I don't like it.
Give us a couple of days to get set. Then I'll guarantee Fuzzy will pay back what he owes.
Well, I want you in town by next Wednesday, because there's liable to be a lot of trouble.
Where is it?
Barstow here?
Yes, he's inside.
Good.
I got some bad news for you, Mr. Barstow. Sharp is selling Clark's place at auction day after tomorrow.
What do you know? I'll get even with the railroad company if it's the last thing I ever do.
I don't think the railroad's behind this deal to cheat you settlers out of your home.
They're fighting us in court.
Sharp's working for them. You can't deny that.
I still think there's something funny about those contracts that Sharp gives to the new buyers.
The railroad issued the deeds on every section that's been resold.
Did you ever check on them?
No, they're mostly out-of-town folks.
Well, it shouldn't be hard to check on one of those deeds. All we have to do is buy in on Clark's place.
Do you realize how much money that would take?
At $65 an acre, about $40,000. Any of you men know where Tragg and his outfit hid those cattle he stole from you?
Sure. In the canyon behind Mel Turner's place, under guard.
It shouldn't be hard to raise $40,000 on them.
It won't be.
These men are fugitives already. You can't ask them to commit any more illegal acts.
Mr. Barstow, cattle rustling won't make it any tougher on them.
I'll say it won't.
Think we can get that herd?
You bet we can.
Clark, Fuzzy, and I'll take care of those guards. You men round up those cattle. We'll meet you on the road.
Right.
Let's get going. Now, I don't like the idea of taking the law into our own hands.
It's too late to talk about that now. Besides, we haven't any choice. Come on, Fuzz.
Down at the other end of the canyon. Let's get them. Make sure none of them get away. Come on.
Take care of him, Doc.
Drive those cattle hard, Newton. The boys know that. I'll ride on ahead to Capital City and make the deal with the bank. Fuzzy, meet you at Eagle Rock. Right.
Yeah. Now hurry into town with it and get it in Barstow's hands as soon as you can. Hurry. Well, I'll do the best I can or else. I'll follow you in. Good luck, Bud. Now, folks, what am I bid for this most valuable piece of land in the whole of Red Rock Valley? Who's going to give me the first bid? Who'll say $5,000 to start? All right. What am I bidding? Who's going to give me $5,000 to start? I'll say $5,000. Don't be bashful, folks. I've got $5,000 bid. Who'll make it 10?
I'm afraid the money will get here too late.
$5,000 bid. Who'll say 10? $15,000 bid. Who'll say 20? 15,000 bid. 15,000 bid. Who'll say 20?
20,000.
20,000 bid. Who'll say 21,000? Folks, I can't let this beautiful section of land go for a paltry $21,000. Well, it's worth $75 an acre of anybody's money. Now, come on. Who'll say 22?
$22,000 I bid.
$22,000! You say 22,000 there, Barstow?
I did.
$22,000, Mr. Barstow bid. Who raised Mr. Barstow's bid?
$25,000. $26,000.
$26,000, Mr. Barstow bid. Who's going to raise Mr. Barstow's bid? Do I hear 27?
Pete, get out there and outbid Barstow.
Mr. Barstow bids $26,000. Do I hear 27? Do I hear 27,000?
$30,000.
30,000. Do I hear 31,000?
Stop him from bidding.
Who? Me? How?
I'm not particular, just stop him.
31,000. 31,000. Who raised it to 32,000?
35,000.
35,000. Thank you.
36,000.
$36,000, Mr. Barstow bid. Who bid $37,000?
37.
$36,000 the bid. 36,000 bid. Do I hear 37? 36,000 bid. 36,000 bid once. 36,000 bid twice. 36,000 twice. 36,000 the bid. Do I hear 37? Sold to Mr. Barstow for $36,000.
Why, you full-faced coyote. What'd you want to sock me for?
Get away from me, I'll strangle you.
Oh, you will. I'll tell you something to it.
The bill of sale, Barstow. Your deed will be forwarded by the railroad company. Banker. I can't understand it. This deed's in perfect order.
That proves the railroad company knows the land's being sold for exorbitant prices, in spite of the fact they offered to sell it back to these settlers for $5 an acre.
I guess you're right.
Let me have a look at it.
Oh, you're worse than a bull in the china shop. I'm going to get you a wet nurse so they can follow you around.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Not going to help matters any. Say, look at this. Can't you see traces of figures underneath the amount $36,000? See, there's a 3 and a 2 and 2 zeros.
Yes, someone erased the original figures and wrote in the new ones.
And the railroad company think they were selling the land for $5 an acre. Let's see. 640 acres times 5 is $3,200. That was the original amount on this deed.
I'll examine the courthouse records and see if any of the other deeds that Sharp sold have been tampered with. If so, I'll contact the president of the railroad company.
That's a good idea.
Hey, I just received this telegram from Mr. Trainer of the railroad company.
Yeah, a letter from Clem Barstow. States there are irregularities in your handling of the land division. I'm leaving immediately for Red Rock to investigate the matter. Signed, John Trainer, Vice President of the Western Railroad Company.
Evidently, Barstow has discovered that we changed the figures on that deed.
We got to get him out of the way before Trainer gets here. If they meet, it'll blow the works sky high. Blow the works. Say, Jones can do that first. Where is he?
Well, probably in the saloon. He's been hanging around with that girl every chance he gets.
Well, come on, let's get him.
Come on, Fuzzy, give your baby a little kiss.
No.
Oh, don't be like that.
Oh, no.
Just a teensy-weensy little one.
No, not a teensy-weensy little one.
Please. Give your baby a little kiss.
No.
Oh! 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 Help me get this off my finger.
Hold still.
Do something.
Come on, break it up. I got an important job for you, Jones.
Fuzzy, get this off.
I want you two boys to help Jones blow up the Barstow house. And make sure that Clem Barstow is in it when it blows up.
Hey, now, wait a minute. That's going to take a lot of planning and a thinking.
All you need is powder and fuse.
Yeah, but we ain't got no powder.
Pete will get that for you.
You sure you got enough?
Yes, we got plenty.
Oh.
I'll be right back. Rosie's got my bankroll.
Oh. Oh.
Rosie, I want you to do something for me.
Get this thing off my finger first.
Look, you have this money if you'll take a message to Billy the Kid for me.
All right.
Tell Billy that Tragg and his men are planning a big blowout. Has to be a surprise party for Clem Barstow. Got it?
Yes.
Everything's all set.
All right, pick up the powder at the hideout and beat it for Clem Barstow's ranch pronto.
Right.
Well, what are you waiting? Get going.
been placed in danger, Mr. Barstow. Tragg will stop at nothing to prevent you from meeting Trainer.
I'm going to stand my ground and fight this thing legally.
I'm sorry you feel that way, because I'm going to have to do something I didn't want to do.
Well, what do you mean?
I'm arresting you for running off with the cattle that belong to the railroad company.
Why,
So you're one of Tragg's hired killers after all. I might have guessed this was all a scheme to gain my father's confidence.
I'm doing a job, Miss Helen. Now, I think you'd better be going, sir. I'm taking you into Red Rock.
Hey, there's Barstow leaving, and the kid's with him. We got to tell Tragg about this pronto.
You sure messed up things in grand style by arresting Barstow.
I knew he was dangerous, so I figured it'd be a good idea to get him out of the way. That's why I framed him.
Well, you meant all right, but you spoiled our plans for removing him permanently.
Well, why didn't you let me in on your plan?
It's too late to talk about that now. We got to get Barstow out of the way before Trainer gets here. Pete, Biff, round up the boys. We're going to hold a real necktie party for Mr. Barstow.
Now, wait a minute. We can't do anything out in the open.
We won't be connected with it. We'll have the men spread reports that Barstow double-crossed the settlers, and that he was the one that caused all the trouble. Now, the boys will have to make it look good. You know, stir the people up. Talk about hanging, lynching, all that. You understand?
Yeah.
And the signal for the rush on the jail will be 2 taps on the fire gong. You handle that.
All right.
Now, let's get busy. We haven't got much time.
We got to stop them from giving a signal until I get Barstow out of jail.
Now, leave it to me.
But I tell you, Sheriff, I deliberately framed Barstow. I knew that Tragg was out to get him, so I thought jail would be the safest place.
I can't let Barstow just on your say-so. It's got to be done by the regular process of law.
Yes, and while the law is taking its course, that mob is going to come busting in here. The man's life is in danger. You're going to have to release him.
Ain't nobody going to take a prisoner away from me without a fight. I'll round up a posse and protect the jail.
Yeah, you're making a mistake. And I'll see if I can round up any men for you.
Hey, how does this gadget work? Oh, that's very simple. All you got to do is bang on it a couple of times, just like this.
Hey, don't do that. You start the signal too soon.
Well, maybe you're right at that.
Judge, you and Tex take the back. You boys cover the windows.
Just a minute, Miss Barstow. It's not safe for you to be in town today.
Why not?
There isn't time to explain right now.
Well, it's about time to start the riot.
Hey, what time is it?
1:45.
Quarter after? Oh, hey, that turnip's no good. It's way off.
Well, you're crazy. It's right on the dot.
I said it was off. You want to make something
You're trying to tell me what to do?
Yeah.
I owe you one from the other day.
That's the signal for the mob to start storming the jail. Miss Helen, you've got to get out of here.
Let's go with me.
Now, you've got to listen to reason. That mob's headed this way and they mean business. We're outnumbered 5-1.
Well, there's nothing to do but fight it out.
I'm not so sure about that, Sheriff. No use risking lives. I'm taking Barstow out of here. Open that cell. Hurry up, quick about it. Got to make a run for it, Barstow. The horse is out and back. Come on, hurry.
Hand Barstow over to us, Sheriff, or we'll tear down the jail and take it. You're making a mistake, man. Barstow ain't here. The sheriff's putting a bluff on us.
There goes Barstow and Billy the Kid's with him. Come on, man, get on your horse. Hey, ooh.
The kid beat it with Barstow. Well, why don't you go after him?
Wait a minute. If we can stop Trainer from reaching town, Barstow will keep. Let's take him off the stage.
Like we lost him.
Yeah. Well, let's go on back. You fixed it so I'll never be able to show my face in Red Rock again. Now I'll never be able to meet Mr. Trainer.
You don't have to go into Red Rock to meet him.
What do you mean?
We're going to head off that stagecoach. Buzz, it's that badge.
Come on. railroad company was most generous in restoring the settlers' homes to them, Mr. Trainer. I don't know how we'll ever thank them.
I think you should thank Billy the Kid.
Well, it was more than anybody would have done under the circumstances, Mr. Trainer. Besides, Fuzzy deserves a lot of the credit, too. Hey, Fuzz, come on over here. Sure.